Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded it to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, it's easy. Just go to shrmedia.com. You can also go to Facebook or YouTube and search for, that's right, SHR Media. And don't forget to hit the little subscribe and like button to keep up to date on all the great shows. How was everybody's Christmas? Merry Christmas. Mine was great. I got to spend some great time with my wife, my child, my parents, and surrounded myself with family, fun, and just... It was relaxing. It was fun. Something that doesn't happen a lot lately. The only bad thing is I came home, I said, all right, I'm going to do some work in the garage. And as I had talked about, I don't have a plane to like level off wood. So I was setting up a jig to use a router. And I took my time. I measured. All right, I get the router, set it on, get it the depth that I wanted at. All right, let me measure again. And I start cutting. The first one looks great. So I do the second cut. I notice it went a little bit deeper. The third cut, even deeper. I'm like, what the hell? Ruined the whole butcher block. Oh, cutting board that I did. I got to start back over. I'm pissed. I'm so pissed. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Well, I kept thinking, and then today I realized I did all the measurements to make sure they were right, and I did the adjustment, and what I forgot to do, I forgot to lock down the router. So as I was sitting there routing, and I'd go to do the next pass, the router would drop down. I was like, son of a bitch, I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe I actually did that. And I was like, oh my God, that's a blonde moment. I feel like an idiot. But you live and learn. But I did today order a goddamn plane. I'm hoping this company is legit. On Facebook, it has me a little worried. But we'll see. I mean, even if he doesn't send it, it's on eBay. I can get a refund that quick. Oh, my phone's whistling at me. Why are you whistling? Today. It has been... Oh, I heard Thomas the Tank is now a fascist cartoon, according to CNN. Man, CNN has lost its fucking mind. They've gone off the deep end big time. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't think they're thinking that's part of the problem. You know, it's... The media's going absolutely batshit crazy. And they're throwing these goddamn polls up left, right, and center. And it's Trump's doing this bad, Trump's doing that bad. But once you start looking into them, they're polling a high majority of Democrats. So, of course, they're going to get the results they want. They're so fake it's transparent anymore. It's not even a joke of the fake news. Because for a while it was kind of a, ha, fake news. Now it's like, oh my God, these people... I don't know. It's holy shit, they've lost their damn mind. Let's see, where did that article go that I had set up? This was a little funny. It wouldn't have been funny if it was me, but just sitting back reading about it, I got laughing about it. And hi, Jenna. Merry Christmas. Get the fan going. Well, a Pennsylvania woman was in shock upon receiving her electric bill for more money than most billionaires see in their lifetimes. We were out to dinner, and I told my wife, I was like, this woman got a high electric bill. I was like, guess how much? She's like, $300. I'm like, no, keep going. She starts saying numbers. I'm like, you're in the basement. You're in the basement. My daughter's like, $10 million. I'm like, you're getting close. My wife just kind of like looked up from her plate, was like, what? This woman checked her online account this month, and she was figuring there would be a high bill because of the Christmas lights. Yeah, that's an understatement. $284 billion electric bill. That's a $284 billion electric bill. A fortune worth more than the national debt of Hungary and South America combined. The 58-year-old thought putting up her Christmas lights for the seasons caused the colossal spike in her electric bill. My eyes just popped out of my head, she stated. We had put up Christmas lights, and I was wondering if we had put them up wrong. The electric company, the utility company, came up with a payment plan where she did not have to pay the full amount until November of 2018. The company says she just had to make a minimum payment of $28,000 by the end of December. Let me say that again. $28,000. Now, suspecting that something was off with the bill, she sent a text message to her son to contact the electric company about the issue. The company confirmed the error and said the bill should have totaled $284. A spokesman for the electric company said the company was investigating the error and that it involved moving a decimal point by mistake. Moving a decimal point by mistake. That isn't like, okay, they moved it over one and it was a $2,840 bill. No, it wasn't moving it over two numbers. It'd be $20,840. That's what? Over something like 9 points, or 9 numbers over, that decimal point had to be moved over. That's like, holy shit. If I was this electric company, I would immediately start an investigation into the company for any high bills that have gone through. Paid or not, they should investigate it and make sure that it wasn't in error. And the spokesman said, I cannot recall ever seeing a bill for billions of dollars. We appreciate the customer's willingness to reach out to us about the mistake. The homeowner said she is keeping a sense of humor about the situation. She jokingly told her son that she wanted a heart monitor for Christmas after seeing this year's electric bill. I think I would too. I would have been, oh, what the fuck is going on here? God damn. No, I would have been, my mouth would have been gone. Woohoo. Oh, my wife would have been laughing. At first, like, what the fuck? Then she would have been laughing at me. Oh, I don't know. Could you imagine actually getting a bill like that? How much goddamn energy would you have to use? I got a bill one time for $300. I was like, what the hell is off about this? I don't know. Let's see. What else? Oh, U.S. Appeals Court. I'm loving these appeals court and the Supreme Court. They're smacking these snowflakes around like it was springtime. A U.S. Appeals Court in Washington on Tuesday upheld a lower court decision to allow President Donald Trump's commission investigating voter fraud to request data on voter rolls from U.S. states. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District Columbia Circuit said that Electronic Privacy Information Center watchdog group, which filed the lawsuit, did not have legal standing to seek to force the Presidential Commission to review privacy concerns before collecting individual voter data. Epic, as it's known for. Good point. On the high electric bill, Jenna was like, well, how many potted plants has she grown there? Epic, as they go by, what is Electronic Privacy Information Center, had argued that under federal law, the commission was required to conduct a privacy impact assessment before gathering personal data. But the three-judge appeals court panel ruled unanimously that the privacy law at issue was intended to protect the individual, not groups like Epic. Epic is not a voter, Judge Karen Henderson wrote in the ruling. Washington-based U.S. District Judge Colleen Cotelli first denied Epic's injunction request in July, in part because the collection of data by the commission was not technically an action by a government agency, so it was not bound by laws that govern what such entities can do. She noted that the commission, headed by Vice President Mike Pence, was an advisory body that lacked legal authority to compel states to hand over the data. Most state officials who oversee elections and election law experts say that voter fraud is rare in the United States. Trump, a Republican, set up a commission in May after charging without evidence that millions of people voted unlawfully in the 2016 presidential election, in which he defeated Democrat opponent Hillary Clinton despite losing the popular vote. I love how they always got to throw that in. Popular vote don't mean shit. And without evidence, there has been evidence over time. There has been a mountain of evidence. They just choose to ignore the evidence. They also, a la Obama, talked about voter fraud and rigging elections. He admitted it in 2008 when it was Senator Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah, he admitted it. He campaigned on it. The commission's vice chair, Chris Kobach, the Republican Secretary of State for Kansas and an advocate of tougher laws on immigration and voter ID identification, asked states in June to turn over voter information. The data requested by Kobach includes names, the last 4 digits of Social Security numbers, address, birth dates, political affiliation, felony conviction, and voting history. More than 20 states refused outright, and others said they needed to study whether they could provide the data. Here's the problem. Here is the problem. All that data is public information. It's public information, people. They're throwing a hissy fit over public information. They're trying to do it the easy way so they're not blowing through a shitload of money. Civil rights groups and Democrat lawmakers have said the commission's eventual findings could lead to new ID requirements and other measures, making it harder for groups that tend to favor Democrat candidates to cast ballots. Illegal aliens, felonies, felons. Yeah, and Democrats are worried if we actually played fair, they would not be able to win elections because they would not be able to cheat. They wouldn't be able to bus people in from other states to vote. Epic Executive Director Mark Rodenberg could not immediately be reached for comment. Well, it just goes to show you where the Democrats are. You know, they claim, this is the funny part, that Russia interfered and messed with our election and say that the election shouldn't stand because Russia interfered. Well, when you talk about looking into that, there was voter fraud. Oh, no, nothing's wrong. Well, what is it? Was there interference or wasn't there? Or is it only interference when it suits you? That's the one that really has me laughing. They want to bring up all this bullshit Russia, but when they bring up that there's some voting fraud, and it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to take massive. No, it doesn't. When you're talking the difference in some of these states on votes, it doesn't take many. 15, 20, 30. Obama won, and I forget which state it was, by the same amount of illegal immigrants that were in that state back in 2012. And he wasn't supposed to win that state. But it's just funny how, amazingly, he won by the same statistics of illegal aliens in that state. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just think too much common sense. Oh, which one is this? Accuses Trump. Oh, damn. He really was shooting his mouth off this weekend. Bill Kristol was out and about running his mouth about Trump this weekend. I was trying to set up the audio. Could be this one. I hear this. Alright, let's get the video up. Make sure there's no commercials. Making sure there's no commercials. And should be ready to go. Happy Boxing Day. That's right. Happy Boxing Day. This is Bill Kristol talking that Trump is trying to shut down Mueller investigation. No proof, no nothing. A Democrat made the accusation, and that's all everybody can talk about for over a week. Come on. Where is it?
No, of course it's driving it. The president hates the investigation. He fears it. And he wants to shut it down or curb it as much as he can. That may just mean discrediting it as much as he can with his base so that when Mueller issues his report, Republicans resist it. That he hopes to pardon people or intends to pardon people. It may be that he intends to fire Mueller. I think people are being a little too cavalier about it. No, isn't Trump? Trump's really exasperated. Trump's really thin-skinned. Trump psychologically can't restrain himself. I don't buy any. I mean, that's all true, I think, to some degree. Trump is trying systematically, though, to discredit the FBI, which is the investigation.
This is a butthurt asshole that has not been right yet about Trump on anything.
And he's doing so by attacking individuals, by attacking.
So here he is on MSNBC, where they now love him.
And I think he fears it and wants to end it as much as he can.
Are you at all, Bill, concerned that some Republicans are actually towing the line? Certainly a lot of the president's surrogates.
They're towing the line with the truth.
Critical of the Mueller investigation and these individuals.
Very much so. They're being used by the president.
They're pointing out the truth of how corrupt the whole investigation is, but that's towing the line, and they're fearful. All this is just blowing out, beating their chest. They have no information. They have no fact. They're trying to cover their own indiscretions. So they accuse everybody else of doing nefarious things when they're the ones that started this whole shit.
They're playing into the president's hands, or they're being allies to the president, and something that I think would do a lot of damage to the country. This renewed attack began, let's not forget, after General Flynn pled guilty on, I think that was December 1st, less than a month ago, and agreed to cooperate with the special counsel. After people like Hope Hicks, the president's communication.
Yeah, and that he agreed to work with the council. That was already debunked. That was never said. That was the media assumed that. The media created that. No one that stated that. Just the media. And he admitted to lying to the FBI. It had nothing to do with collusion or anything of that. He lied. And he shouldn't even admit it he lied. Because he didn't.
Director, who was very close to him during the campaign and subsequently testified for 2 days to the FBI. with the prospect of Jared Kushner, who has testified to the special counsel, maybe being drafted into this more directly. I mean, I think
one guy that had like one
knows
meeting with
that he
Trump
has
was
something
real
to worry
close.
about
Yeah, bullshit.
And is doing his best to fight back.
Yeah, Congress.
Oh, shit. Pisses me off. All right, with that, you know what time it is. It's time for a break already. Damn. Damn, boy. All right. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello. I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. You didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Don't worry, there's no tiny elephants here. I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless, but, you know, it's a tough job. It's a tough job. Oh, Bill Kristol just running his mouth. Trump has not tried to shut down the Mueller investigation. There's some Republicans calling for, actually, for Mueller to resign and not so much to end the investigation, but for somebody else to be appointed because it seems he is very... he's already made up his mind and is setting up a biased commission that no one's going to believe. So it doesn't have to be Trump saying anything. It's exactly what Mueller did, and now the liberals are trying to cover up the fact that what found out that it was a lynch mob that was being set up. Oh my God, these idiots. I don't understand it. A fucking lynch mob was being set up. And we're supposed to, like, bend over and take it? I don't think so. We do have a brain, and we do have a right to decide on our own. You know, it's... I don't understand it, people. I don't. I really don't. It's... The Democrats are caught. They're like rats on a sinking ship right now, and instead of just trying to escape, they're trying to blame everybody else for the problems. And it's, I don't know, it's annoying. It has me dumbfounded. And what really scares me is you still have people that blindly follow the party and believe them. That scares the crap out of me. That there's still people believing these idiots and are so blinded, no matter what they say, they believe. If they came out and said Martians were inside of Trump, they'd be screaming for, an autopsy to be performed to prove that Martians have invaded Trump. It just, oh my God, it blinds me. I don't agree with everything Trump does, and I'll disagree. And I love that because some Democrat was on Fox earlier. I was over with my mom. She turned it on for a couple minutes. And he was like, you got all this war inside of the Republican Party. You have this one disagreeing with that one. And, the other guy turns around and goes, no, that's what's supposed to happen. We all don't toe the party line and say the same thing like the Democrat Party. We have different opinions, discuss it, and try to work it out, unlike the Democrat Party. And that was dead on. Democrat parties, they all think the same. They all agree. Everybody, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to say. Remember, he'll rule the day. Still can't believe that. There was like 3 different Democrats that said that. He'll rule today, yep. Yeah, they all got the same goddamn writer. Republicans, yes, a lot of problems, but yes, they disagree. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to kiss each other's ass and just blindly agree. Damn. Because you're not agreeing, it's a good thing, people. Democrat parties, they just got these people blindly following. And I have disagreed with Trump here and there. No, I don't think that was the best tax reform they could have done. No, I'm not dumping all the fault on Trump's desk. I'm going to dump it on Paul Ryan and McConnell. You know, but that basically was a compromise between the Trump faction and the other idiots in the Republican Party. And it was a better tax package than what we have now. So it's one step forward. But I don't agree with everything on it. But we work from there. We change, we adjust. You know what? Obamacare probably could have worked if, you know, it was changed, it was tweaked. The weak points, the parts that the American people hated maybe got changed. No, it was, this is the way it's going to be and no way other way around it. Not saying I agree with Obamacare, but you know what? There was things that could have been done to make that bill probably better. And the Democrats didn't even want to hear it. They admit there's mistakes with Obamacare. Did they try to fix it? Hell no. They sat on their fucking ass. And that's what's funny. Now they want to blame the Republicans for everything. What did they do to try to make Obamacare better? Nothing. Nothing. They passed a piece of crap legislation. The only thing I agree with that came out of that, the mandate on pre-existing conditions that they have to cover. And some of those are being pushed a little further past what's reality. Oh, if this passes, my son's not going to be able to have insurance because he's a diabetic 1. No, he'll have insurance. There's certain things they have to cover automatically. There's certain things, yes, there's the pre-existing condition that it takes over a year. Sometimes, yes, they don't. You have to pay a higher bracket, which I don't think a lot of that should go through. Okay, you could pass a bill to fix that. You didn't need to blow the whole goddamn healthcare system apart. You didn't have to force people to buy something that they didn't want. Why they did that is the only way they thought they were going to be able to pay for it. You know, that turned out to be a big shit the bed. Democrats, and they got country before party, country, and they got so many mindless Muppets out there chanting that as they sit there and toe the party line. What do you think Democrats are doing? They're towing the party line, not country. But again, I talk about it so much. Why are they doing that? Because they think if they bring up the country, we need to think of the country first, which they tell us is racist to begin with. They're trying to use keywords to trigger us into backing them, but the people are smarter than that. And the Democrat, oh, they said country before party, that must be good. Goes to prove just because you went to college doesn't make you smarter. I have no problem with college education, I really don't. But a piece of paper like that does not make you smarter than everybody else. No, it does not. I know guys that have no college degree, and I'll put them against a lot of these idiots with college degrees and general knowledge. You know, it just blows my mind that they think they're better than everybody else because they have paid, what, $50, $60, and above $1,000 for a piece of paper. Screwed hat. I paid $50,000 a year for this piece of paper here and a professor to tell me how to think. You know, life don't work that way. Sorry to say, it don't work that way. You know, the book is not always right. And I learned that. I learned that out in the field. You know, the book is a nice basis. And I've seen the medics, I've seen the EMTs that try to treat their patients. Try to treat their patients like the book. And it'll kill those patients 9 times out of 10. They don't know how to talk to their patients 10 times out of 10. You know, it's real great that you know the book. But life has too many curveballs and everything out there. It drives me up a goddamn wall. Just like I think that these the lawyers are kind of just running their mouth to try to counter some of the points out there. The White House lawyers continue to claim that Special Counsel Robert Mueller will end his inquiry into possible collusion between Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and the Russian government. The Wall Street Journal reported Monday, in an interview Monday, Jay Skedlow, I fucked his name up, a member of the presidential legal team, stood by the prediction that part of the inquiry involving Mr. Trump would end soon. Still, he avoided any mention of specific dates. I know we, collectively, the lawyers, are looking forward to expediture wrapping up of this matter. A spokesman for the Mueller's office declined comment. Listen, the Democrats are going to do anything and everything to keep this investigation going for the next 3 years. They're going to want this dragging on and dragging on and dragging on until it comes time for re-election. Oh, there was actually a Democrat today that said that he missed Obama because of no scandals compared to this president that's been scandal-ridden from the start. I was like, oh my God! What reality do you live in, asshole? Because I really would like to come live in that Candyland, unicorn living, rainbow humping land. No scandals for Obama. Benghazi, IRS, Obamacare website, Fast and Furious. I can go on with a quick. I mean, those are just right off the top of my head. Here, let's see what I can do. Come on. All right. Obama scandals. Let's see. January 2nd of 2017 article. These are 18 major scandals. This giant stimulus heist. Obama seemed to think that nobody will remember he grabbed almost $1 trillion for his stimulus spending, creating virtually zero private sector jobs with it, allowed a great deal of the money to vanish into thin air, and spent the rest of his presidency complaining that he needed hundreds of billions more to repair roads and bridges. And I remember that. Remember that stimulus package? We're going to do an infrastructure. And we never did. Operation Fast and Furious, as I said. Eric Holder held in contempt of court. Obamacare. Spying on journalists. I forgot about that one. The IRS scandal. Benghazi. Hillary Clinton's secret server. The Pigford scandal. NSA spying scandal. Forgot about that one. Bo Bird-Dog. Iran deal and ransom payment. Polluting the Colorado River. The General Service Administration was caught wasting ridiculous amount of taxpayer money. That was the GSA scandal. The VA death list scandal. Solyndra, which was the green energy company he dumped money into. Secret Service gone wild. Shut down theater. During the government shutdown crisis of 2013, he did everything he could to make American citizens feel the pain of the shutdown. That was just a quick. Here, let's look at a list on. All right. This is a controversy list from WikiLeaks. Air Force One photo op incident, American-led intervention into Iraq 2014 to present, ATF gun walking scandal, Barack Obama's judicial appointment controversy 2012, Benghazi attack, boundless informant, Charles Freeman appointment controversy, Clinton Foundation, State Department controversy, codename Geronimo controversy, which was a way to shut down gun dealers. Contraceptive mandate 2013 Department of Justice investigation of reporters, Department of VA Management Accountability Act, Division 30 drone strikes in Pakistan, Jatmir, efforts to impeach Barack Obama. I didn't even know that happened. Fairview surveillance program, firing of Shirley Sherrod, Henry Louis Gates arrest controversy, Grand Bargain United States 2011. Guantanamo Bay Detention Camp, Healthcare.gov, Hemisphere Project, Hillary Clinton email controversy, Intelgate, IRS controversy, targeting controversy, Joint Comprehensive Plans of Action, Maywan District Murders, Memogate, Pakistan, Military Intelligence against ISIL, National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2012 and 2013, 2011 NATO attack in Pakistan, new Black Panther Party voter intimidation case, Barack Obama on mass surveillance, Operation Choke Point, political scandals during, Presidential Policy Directive Number 20, PRISM, which was a surveillance program, Project Cassandra, Project Gunrunner, Senate Intel Committee report on CIA torture, the Snowden affair, Solyndra, America-led intervention in the Syrian civil war, Taliban 5, United States House Select Committee on Benghazi, 2009 U.S. State Dinner security breach, Veterans Health Administration scandal of 2014, Veterans Access to Health Care Through Choice, Accountability and Transparency Act of 2014, X-Key Score, and something like that. But no, there was no scandals with Obama. And the scandals we have, the quote-unquote scandals we have with Trump are Democrat wishful thinking. Because nothing's happened. Nothing was there. They won't find anything. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello. I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Pay no attention to the muffled screams in the background. You are listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on the SHR Media Network. Back to you, Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a live stream, it's easy. How easy? Just go to SHR Media. Or go to YouTube, or go to Facebook, and just search for SHR Media. And don't forget to hit the little like button there, boop, or the subscribe button. Boop. I had to do the little boop. Oh, let's see. Hey, that came out of nowhere. Where are we? Oh boy. Oh, it pissed me off too. I went to grab my belt sander. Just used it the other day. It was working. Hit the button. Nothing. Nothing. Son of a bitch. Just died on me. So now I gotta go get a new one. My wife's killing me. Bitching at me about all this. God damn it. I know, she's been pretty cool about it. I can't bitch. I shouldn't bitch about my wife. I got a great wife. I just don't let her know all that often, because it would go to her head, and then she'd start using it against me. Hey, look at that. You got a great wife. Zip it. Zip it good. Damn. All of a sudden got yawny. Oh. Where are we? I think I lost my place. Let's see. What are we up to next? We talked about very briefly that Trump's lawyers say that it'll be, the investigation will be done with, but it's not. The Democrats are gonna friggin' drag this on as long as they can. As long as there's Trump in office, they will drag this on. But this one made me about. Man, they're desperate. They're coming up with some of the, and it seems like they're like doing one of those like hold my beer, I could do more dumb shit than you can. So, liberal California Congressman Ted Lieu blamed human nature for his no vote on President Trump's tax reform package because he thinks poor people will get jealous of other people's tax cuts. So he said, fuck you, middle class, because the poor people might get jealous that you're getting a tax break. Even though they're getting a tax break too. Everybody's getting a tax break. You get a tax break, you get a tax break, you get a tax break. Wait, you're rich, you don't get a tax break. You get a tax break, you get a tax break. Wait, you're in California? No, you're screwed. You get a tax break, you're in New York, New Jersey. Oh, you're both screwed. Sorry, I had a Oprah Winfrey moment there. Just as the Tax Cut and Jobs Act passed, the left-wing nutjob congressman jumped on his Twitter account to slam the bill for bad effects he says has on a human nature. Lieu laid out a scenario where one person who only got a $380 tax cut will get angry if he finds out someone else got a $200,000 tax cut. Then he noted that a man from California will get upset that he might get a tax hike for residing in California. All these people getting upset, Lieu said, is not human nature, and presumably that is why everyone should vote no on the bill. So should we have voted no on Obama? Because, well, people were going to get upset, and they did, about Obamacare. Some people got more of an increase than others did. You know, he didn't vote no, or he doesn't want it taken away because of that. This is how fucking dumb these people are. And I'm sorry, just because that person got a $200,000 tax break and I only got $380, tax break. Well, maybe he pays more in taxes than I do. And I got into this with my father-in-law. If he's getting more because he pays more into the system, but he's not getting any more. Especially, let's say, I would point out, I would like to go to like a flat rate. Everybody I'm just pulling a number out of my ass, so don't jump on me about the number. Everybody pays 10%. He's like, well, no, we won't pay equal amounts. Yes, we will. He goes, well, take an example on this money. You might only pay $1,000 in taxes, well, I'll pay $10,000. I said, yeah, how much is that based on? I was like, it's based on how much I make compared to you. You make more. So you actually put in. I mean, you're putting in the same amount in a larger amount. Well, that's not fair. I should pay more. No, you shouldn't. It's fucking ridiculous the way these people are thinking. When pressed on Twitter about his desire to defeat tax cuts so the government can keep America's hard-earning money, Lou defended himself saying, do you think we fund law enforcement and firefighters through voluntary personal donations? Actually, asshole, we do. You fucking moron. There is still a shitload of fire companies and EMS companies that run on donations. That's how to touch you are. Maybe in California it doesn't happen anymore, but there's plenty of places that, yes, that go through personal and voluntary donations. And what he doesn't understand is your money, most of the money that your law enforcement, your firefighters, your EMS personnel get, is not through federal government. It is through your local and state taxes. So, Lou, again, you're wrong on that. It is a such small amount that, I mean, mostly it's grants, that federal grants that they apply for, which are still going to be there. It just, these people, they don't think it through. They think, oh, okay, I'll just bring up law enforcement and firefighters and they'll shut up. Even though it does not make a bit of sense. What a jackass these people are. It just... They don't think. And feelings, because it might hurt someone's feelings. Fuck them! I'm not upset that somebody that pays more into the system is going to get more money. Wait a minute. They're not going to get more money back. They're going to get to keep more of their hard-earned money. Let's get that straight. They're not getting anything from the federal government. They're getting to keep their hard-earned money. So someone that makes more money is getting to keep more of their money compared to my household, which makes less than them. I'm not upset. I am not jealous of other people's what they make. May not agree with how much some people make for their jobs. Football players, baseball players, hockey players. You're playing the fucking game. Compared to EMS, fire, police, military. They're not playing games. They're saving lives. So no. Lou is a lunatic. Fucking Democrats have lost their cotton picking mind. What is today? Today is what? Tuesday, isn't it? My day, yep, Tuesday. Which means BZ will be on tonight. That's right. Great BZ. I'll let you know right now. No, I most likely would be on. Never mind. I was thinking Monday was New Year's Eve. It's not. Sunday's New Year's Eve. So, all right. Let's see. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening. Contact is the
Now back to Reaver of Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in approximately 53 minutes will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't think I have an article I set up for it, so I do want to mention it. Nikki Haley has negotiated with the UN and has dropped our payment to the UN, I think, by $285 billion. Just a drop in the bucket. Just a little bit. Fucking ridiculous. Do we even pay that much? How much we pay? It's $285 billion or million, I can't remember. Either way, they're both a ridiculous amount of money. Let's see. Come on. There was like articles all over the place the other day. Now I can't find a goddamn one. Yeah. 10 countries are said to be in talks to move embassy to Jerusalem now. You're going to see more countries jumping over there. Guatemala, I think it is. Maybe Guatemala. Czech, I believe it is, are all. There's already 2 countries have confirmed they're moving along with the United States, and Palestinian president instructs staff to sever ties with U.S. Big fucking deal. They won't do it. They're trying to bluff the wrong president. It's not going to work. More and more I'm hearing, I'm scared that something is going to go on with Korea after the first of the year. Yeah, it was $285 million reduction in the UN funding. You know, let me see if I did put that up, because there was a lot of, well, sort of, that's right. We'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to this article in a minute. I do want to point out, a CNN reporter falsely claims Republicans funded Trump-Russia dossier. That has been debunked a while ago. But CNN Justice correspondent Evan Perez falsely told his network's viewers on Tuesday that anti-Trump Republicans first funded the infamous Trump-Russian dossier, much of which remains unverified. Perez was responding to a tweet from President Donald Trump, who called the dossier a pile of garbage. Perez has close ties to the co-founder of Fusion GPS, the firm behind the dossier, which CNN failed to disclose. Look, the fact is that the dossier was compiled by a part of opposition research first paid for by Republicans who were opposed to Donald Trump, and then later on by Democrats in the Clinton campaign. People associated with the Clinton campaign who wanted to bring him down. But okay. Does that still make it right, you jackass? But the fact cited by Perez that the anti-Trump Republicans originally funded the dossier has been ruled false by fact-checkers. Republican donor Paul Singer initially hired Fusion GPS through the Washington Free Beacon to conduct opposition research on Trump and other candidates during the 2016 Republican primary, but that research was unrelated to the dossier. CNN has repeatedly misinformed its viewers about the dossier's origins. Perez's error on Tuesday is at least the 3rd time that the network has falsely told its audience that Republicans originally funded the dossier. Then they get upset when they get called fake news. When you keep pushing an outright lie, you are fake news. Fucking ridiculous. Oh my God. I want to bang my head against the wall. Da bang, da bang, da bang. So, as I was talking with the UN, former White House advisor Sebastian Gorka claimed the U.S. pays over 20% of the UN budget on Fox and Friends on Saturday. Quote, we are paying more than 20% of the UN's budget. And we just cut $285 million off of that budget. If you look at the peacekeepers' activity, the military side of the house, we are paying almost a third, 28%, said Gorka. And the verdict is true. The U.S. must pay 22% of the UN budget for 2016 to 2018. The U.S. contributes even higher shares for some agencies within the UN. Now, a fact check went on. The UN determined required contribution levels for each member state based on factors like gross national income and debt. Based on this calculation, the U.S. paid 22% of UN's $5.4 billion budget for 2016 and 2017, the maximum contribution allowed. State Department documents confirm the U.S. allocated $1.2 billion toward the budget during these years. U.S. funding for UN operation is under scrutiny after 128 member states voted to condemn President Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Trump threatened to cut U.S. funding to countries that voted for the resolution. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley called the resolution disrespectful, particularly because the U.S. pays more than any other country to the UN. When we make generous contributions to the UN, we also have a legitimate expectation that our goodwill is recognized and respected, she said in remarks before the UN General Assembly last Thursday. Then Haley announced Sunday that the U.S. had negotiated a $285 million cut for the UN's 2018-2019 budget. The new budget reduces the UN's bloated management and support functions, bolstered support for key U.S. priorities throughout the world, and instills more discipline and accountability throughout the UN system, according to a statement from Haley's office. Some argue the U.S. contributes shares is reasonable since the U.S. accounts for about a quarter of the world's income. The next highest contributor to the UN budget are Japan at 9.7% and China at 7.9%, although China holds the second largest share of world income at 14%. They pay two top, besides the United States, 9.7 and 7.9, and we pay 22%. Hey, Golf Dog, how are you doing? And Merry Christmas to you, sir. I still say the UN has turned into everything that it was created to combat against. Gorka also correctly stated the U.S. pays for 28% of UN's peacekeeping budget, which costs the U.S. about a $2.4 billion per year. The UN agreed in June to cut its peacemaking budget by $570 million to $7.3 billion after pressure from the U.S. The U.S. wanted to cut the peacekeeping budget to under $7 billion. $2.4 billion per year on that alone. Just 5 months into our time here, we have already been able to cut over $500 million from the UN peacekeeper budget, and we're only getting started, Haley said in June when she announced the cuts. In addition to the UN regular and peacekeeping budgets, the U.S. contributes to the UN agencies like the World Health Organization, the World Food Program, and UNICEF. The U.S. contributes $1.5 million to the UN Refugee Agency in 2016. 38% of the agency's total revenue. This is the largest proportion of UN agency revenues funded by the U.S. Then you wonder why we are so goddamn broke as a country. Then you wonder why they have to raise the taxes, the Democrats, because they keep wanting to fund all these foreign policies, all these foreign agencies. You know, it's not just entitlement programs here in the United States. It is a global entitlement program that the Democrats have been pushing. And there's some Republicans that have helped push this over the years. I'm not going to put the total blame on Democrats. But this is where we have to stop. I don't mind helping the UN. I don't mind helping a little bit more than the other countries when we have the money. But our belt is tight. And we were getting shit cut here in the United States. But the Obama administration never cut anything overseas. They made sure that we felt the cuts here in the United States and nowhere else. The U.S. contributed more than $10 billion in total to the UN agencies in 2016, of which $6 billion was voluntary. $10 billion we handed over. $10 billion. That's a lot of hot dogs. Critics of the U.S.-led budget cuts worry they will harm UN programs and threaten agreed-upon contribution levels, but the U.S. has shown no signs it will reverse course. We will no longer let the generosity of American people be taken advantage of or remained unchecked. For too long, we have been taken advantage of. For too long, it was an open checkbook. Well, we finally have somebody that is willing to stand up for the American people and say no more. We don't have an open checkbook for us here in the United States. And we shouldn't. We need to have a budget. And now you got the Democrats crying that Trump's trying to shut down all these programs so he could be a tyrant. No! Trying to shut down programs that are not fucking needed. For every program, there's like 2 or 3 programs that double up. There is so much wasteful spending on the federal level, it's not funny. Listen, I'm not a huge one that says we need to shut down basically all federal government. But this wastefulness that we have going on, paying $1 million for a study on why, shrimp will run on a treadmill, or why are dykes fat. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a waste of money. Who the fuck cares? I've joked with my dad, and we're like half joking. We want to do a study to see if termites actually choke on splinters. And I figured it would cost me $5 million to do that study. In the meantime, I'll just go get a couple of fucking termites, let them chew through some wood, and if they stay alive, they didn't choke on the splinter. And underneath past administrations, I probably would get the goddamn money. Okay, here you go. It'll be a big scientific breakthrough. We can find out. I mean, how many times has that question been asked? Well, it's only been asked in one song, sir. I mean, really, people, I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I do not know. All right, we're going to head off on a break. We're going to go with a Money Talks Minute, and then we will hit the break, and we'll be back. Don't forget, coming up next, top of the hour, approximately 40 minutes, is BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ. And you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk with Melanie, Money Talk Minute. This week we're going to discuss savings mistakes to avoid. Here are just 3. First mistake, keeping your savings and checking accounts at the same bank. What do I mean by this? If you keep your savings account in the same place as your checking account, you're going to be way more tempted to transfer your savings money into your checking account and spend money that you meant to save. So you want to avoid that. It keeps you honest. Second thing, being seduced by introductory rates. Banks do this all the time, and anytime it comes to any special offers, quite frankly, it is usually some kind of trick. So be careful of that. Many banks will offer these awesome introductory savings rates to get you in the door, and then it only applies up to a certain amount of time, and then that rate goes down real low and you're really not benefiting. Finally, keeping all your savings in one place. Divide your savings up into different accounts for specific purposes. Have a separate one for emergency funds, or have a separate one to save for a car, something like that. The reason you want to do that is that if all your money is in one single savings account, it's very easy to accidentally spend something that was appropriated for one thing on something else. So that's this week's Money Talk Minute. I'm your business diva, Melanie Collette. Please be sure to watch Money Talk with Melanie Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in approximately, 22 minutes, will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Don't forget, the speech is free, but the drinks are overpriced. To prove my point on what I'm talking about with the UN. Listen, maybe the UN at one time had some good principles, but how do you defeat something of that like that? How do you defeat the United States? You defeat it from the inside. And when they create a human rights council, and you put countries on the Human Rights Council as China, South Africa, Mexico, Republic of Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, Qatar, El Salvador. I'm just looking through, over the years, some of the countries that have sat on this board. Philippines. Give me Ecuador, Thailand, Libya, Nigeria, Jordan, China again, Russia, Hungary, Mexico. You know, these are not the countries that you want on a human rights council. These are some of the biggest fucking offenders of human rights. So that is how you go and you defeat that. You get to be a part of that group that decides who's violating and who isn't. You sit on their councils and you point the fingers everywhere else. I mean, that's just one example, because right now the Human Rights Council is Angola, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Nigeria, Senegal, and if I fuck up some of these countries' names, I've never heard some of these. Damn, that makes me feel really dumb at this point. But some of these countries, they change names more than a child changes a diaper. Afghanistan, Nepal, Pakistan, Qatar, Slovakia, Ukraine, Chile, Mexico, Peru, Australia, and Spain are sitting on the council right now. Last year, I don't know, these people are also still sitting on the board. Egypt, Rwanda, Tunisia, South Africa, China, Iraq, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Croatia, Hungary, Brazil, Cuba, United Kingdoms, and United States. Now, how are some of those countries sitting on the human rights boards when they're the biggest offenders of human rights? Oh, wow. It's broke up. There's 3 tiers to it because their terms expire at different times. Sorry about that. Burundi, Ivory Coast, Ethiopia, Kenya, Togo, South Korea, some kind of stand, Mongolia, Philippines, United Arab Emirates, Georgia, Ecuador, Panama, Venezuela, Slovenia, Bulgaria, Germany, Switzerland. I mean, so you get in, you start getting a part of these groups, and you start making the decisions. It's fucking scary. I'll tell you that right now. Oh boy. But that's the UN. And I agree 100%. Golf Dog and said another thing. We need to get the hell out. And you know what? That's why I loved when I heard Trump started talking that. We need to get the hell out of it. Peace. Bye-bye. Wouldn't want to be you. Senator Tom Cotton. I love this guy because he has some great mic drop moments. And he said that if a mass amnesty plan were as popular as the mainstream media says it to be, Democrats would have used a year-end spending bill to shut down the government unless they got amnesty for millions of illegal aliens. And what that's exactly saying is it is not as popular as the media and the Democrats tell you. It is actually very, very unpopular with the American people. There's not many Americans that believe we should reward any illegal aliens. I'm sorry, it's not an excuse that their parents brought them here. Don't look at me as the bad guy. Look at the parents as the bad guys. They're the ones that did it, not me. I did not cause the problem, as along with millions and millions of Americans. We did not cause that problem. Their parents did by coming here illegally. So go after them. I'm sick of that shit. I do not believe in rewarding criminal act. I don't believe in some of the shit going on in California and some other states. This is how we're going to stop criminals from breaking our laws. We are going to pay them not to commit crime. Well, how about you pay me not to commit crime? Oh, that's right, because I'm not breaking the law, so I follow the laws. In Mexico, on the other side, you need to treat our people with better. Well, you need to keep your people on your side and shut the fuck up. Oh, and you treat illegal aliens in your country worse. So, again, you need to shut the fuck up. And most of these countries that are condemning us need to shut the fuck up because they're treating illegals worse than we do. Jesus Christ, I mean, they're being treated pretty damn good on this side. And yes, Golf Dog, if we were to leave the UN, many, many would follow. The UN would be done with. This is just a talking point for the Democrats. They think they have the upper hand. And if they actually thought, if they for a minute, and this is what they're trying to do, and I said it, I think last week or the week before, what the Democrats are trying to do is, they want the Republicans to pass amnesty. Yes, they do. Because if they thought it was so great, why didn't they, when they had majority, and yes, they could have done it all same time as Obamacare. They're not that lazy. It was that important. They could have banned, or excuse me, gave amnesty for illegal aliens in 2009. They had the majority. They could have pushed a bill through, but they knew it was unpopular with the people. They knew they would lose elections over it. They know they just talk about it enough, it gets enough people to back them. So what they want is they're now trying to like double dog dare the Republicans to pass that bill. And then when people get pissed, they're going to, wasn't us. Republicans passed it. Go after them. Get pissed at them. And there's some Republicans that are stupid. They'll go, oh, we really need to look at amnesty. You got Jeff Flake. You got McConnell. Oh, yeah, we really need to look at this. I mean, they're just people. They should be allowed in this country. Fuck no. You broke our laws? Time for you to go. America breaks the law, they get punished for it. They don't get no reward. Well, unless you're Hillary Clinton. Sorry about that. Barack Obama. Now, in response to a New York Times report on President Trump's pro-American immigration agenda, Cotton fired back at the notion from the mainstream media and open border advocates that Dream America, the most expansive amnesty plan filed in Congress, is popular. It is popular in their wet dreams. That's the only place it's popular. It's only popular in the media. Cotton also credited President Trump's opposition to the process known as chain migration, which newly neutralized immigrants can bring in unlimited number of foreign relatives to the U.S. with them, and the diversity visa lottery program as being part of his victory in the 2016 presidential election. The diversity lottery gives out 50,000 visas every year to foreign nationals from a magnitude of countries, including those known for terrorist problems. You got Afghanistan, Algeria, Egypt, Iraq, Lebanon, Libya, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Syria, Trinidad, Tobago, Venezuela, Yemen, Uzbekistan. You know, then, Jesus Christ, I can't understand. Let's just have this open, we're going to pick out the lottery number, and we're going to let these people in. And I believe the country, that wherever it is the one that gets to pick who goes. So you're not going, oh, you're a rocket scientist? We're going to send you to the United States. No, they're going, oh, you're a fucking scumbag terrorist that's trying to kill everybody. You're going to America! You're a terrorist? You're going to America! Everybody look underneath their seats. God, why do I have that stuck in my head tonight? Ooh. Ooh. And I listen, if our immigration is broke, and there is issues, my sister-in-law was dating someone from Australia, and for him to come over legally, it would take 3 months. And even if they got married, there was a whole bunch of stuff that had to get done, because they were talking about honestly getting married. It wasn't immigration. And even if they got married, it didn't automatically give him citizenship. He had to jump through hoops. But you don't just ignore the laws because you don't agree with. There's a shitload of laws out there I don't agree with. I just don't agree. Just ignore them. Hey, I don't like going. Well, maybe that's a bad idea because sometimes there's that 70-mile-an-hour speed sign that I ignore. I've joked about it before. You know, can I do undocumented bank or financial institution withdrawals? Because I can come up with every excuse these illegal aliens come with. Hey, as long as I don't hurt anybody. I'm trying to make a better life for my family. I did it because I love my family. That's what they say. That's the exact reason why I would sit there and want to do an undocumented withdrawal from a financial institute. But do you think a judge is going to let me off? Do you think I'm going to be given sanctuary in cities? So why should they get sanctuaries in cities? Oh, and for my Florida brethren and sisters that are listening, and I'll try to find out his name because it didn't say it the other day. One of the candidates that's going to try to run for governor of Florida, a Democrat, said one of the first things he will do is turn Florida into a sanctuary state. Just what we fucking need. Our state is financed well. We're not in debt. We're doing good. Businesses are coming in. Everything's going great. So what does he want to do? He wants to bring in a bunch of goddamn criminals. Oh, great. Just what we need. I'm so scared we're going to get a Democrat governor in this state. So scared. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening. Contact is the evening.
Now back to Reaver of Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up in about 13 minutes will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ himself. And I believe he has the pleasure of having Carrie Donovan on his show. He'll be interviewing and talking with Carrie, the goddess of political punditry, tonight. Top of the hour. That's right. Remember, the speech is free, but the drinks are watered down. Alright, also, coming with that, I shut the show down just a couple minutes early due to YouTube and their screw-ups. Let's see, where are we now? I kind of got lost. Got looking at stuff off to the side. The support for DACA, even amongst Democrats themselves, is only at like 35%. There's not much support for DACA. At least a shutdown over DACA. And right now, another thing, and I've talked about it, Democrats are tearing themselves apart because of Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer has dumped, I know of, $20 million into a campaign for impeachment of Trump. Some Congress love it, a lot hate it. And your leaders, Pelosi and Schumer, hate it. Because what they're doing is they are handing free campaign material to the Republicans. They are ginning up the base of the Republican Party to make sure that they come out and vote. Because all you need is the Republicans to hold commercials and play this Democrat donor. I know, and it's so misleading and thing because he sits there and he's, well, I'm just an American. No, you are a Democrat top donor. You're not just an American. You're more than American. You are a high financing donor to the Democrat Party. He pays Democrats off all the time to push his agendas. So he's putting this, oh, let's impeach Trump. So now, just Republicans go. If you don't get out and vote, and we do not keep the majority, the Democrats will impeach Trump. We will lose this great president by the Democrats impeaching him over bogus charges, and America will be destroyed. Think of the commercials. And I'm not that creative, and that's all they have to do. Bam. Republicans come out in droves. All thanks to Steyer. Tom Steyer, billionaire extraordinaire, trying to overturn the American people's will and an election. And that's it. Again, talking to my parents yesterday, today. The Democrats are still trying to fight the 2016 election. We're getting ready to start 2018, and they're still stuck in 2016. In the meantime, Trump has gone on with his agenda. And the only major thing I could think of that he hasn't gotten through, approved 100%, is the wall. His other major promises he's done so far. We're investigating Obama. We're investigating Hillary Clinton. We have the National Reciprocation Concealed Carry Bill. He's slowed down immigration big time. We got a tax reform, and as I said earlier, maybe not perfect, but we got a tax reform through. Obamacare's been deballed. It may not be perfectly repealed, but there's no mandate anymore. I've never seen a president actually back up that many of his promises. I think the first president I've seen push one of his promises was Obama with Obamacare. After that, it was, I'm done. I just... I just don't think they're smart enough to realize just how much of a deep hole they've dug themselves into. Now I'm talking to Democrat parties. They are in trouble. Tax got through. Now, the only way I thought that they were going to get it, unless something major happens between now and November, the only way that I saw the Democrats getting the majorities was if the Republicans failed to get a tax reform through. And they knew that. They finally got it through their heads. Oh, shit, we didn't get Obamacare repealed, so we got to get this goddamn tax through, otherwise we are going to lose our jobs. And they put that through. Shit, CBS just did it recently over the weekend. They gave people their tax return to do for this year, or through this tax reform. And, well, how much more are you going to have to pay? No, I'm getting a tax cut. What? And it was like 3 people that they took as tests, random, and all 3 people were getting returns. This myth that it's going to cost people more money is getting blown out of the water. Democrats are trying to say, well, it's a stunt, all these companies. They're not really. They're buying their way into Trump's administration. No, they are having the extra money. Exactly what Chuck Schumer said would never happen. He actually sat there the day AT&T announced that they were going to be spending all this money. He said, and he used AT&T as an example. I talked about it last week. And what happened? AT&T did the exact opposite of what he said would happen. They're out there pushing fake news. The problem is when you push that fake news, the truth is going to come out, and then they're going to look like idiots. So they get some support for a week or two. Great. But the long run, they lose more support. And I don't know why I'm always out here. It seems like I'm trying to help Democrats by trying to straighten them out. But what I'm doing is, so many people are scared right now. Because they keep hearing, all these punditries. Oh, the Democrats are going to win the majority in the universe this coming election. And Pelosi has guaranteed it. Like I told my mom, Pelosi has guaranteed it every fucking time. And she has not gone through. So I guess that's why I keep repeating myself and talking about it. People got to understand and look at the bigger picture. The Republicans are not as bad as they think they are. Flake is stupid. He thinks he actually thinks he's going to be able to run for president and beat Trump. He can't even win re-election in his own fucking state. His own state will not elect him, and he thinks he could win nationally. Yeah, exactly, BZ, and I did try to talk about that, and I'm running out of time. I think it was a 4.9% increase this holiday. Christmas spending. Christmas spending is up big time. I've noticed more people are saying Merry Christmas this year. economical. The spending is up. People have money in their pockets now. They're getting back to work. They're spending money. And it's just that snowball just starting right now. Taxes, boom. And the Democrats know it's going to hurt them. I mean, just look at Ronald Reagan when he got the tax reform. After he pushed his tax reform and it got more money in the American people's pocket, and what happened? I think he won every state except Michigan. So, I mean, it's... Democrats may be in trouble. They have not changed anything. They've tried changing their saying, but that's about it. You can change your saying all you want. It's proofs in the pudding. All right, and well, we're going to get going because BZ's coming up next. And, yeah, he said he's going to be talking about the increase in the retailer sales for this holiday season. So stay tuned. He's got Donovan Baxter. Oh, sugar, brain fart. Carrie Baxter Donovan. I was saying that background. I'm sorry, Carrie. We're going to be on the show. Tune in, listen to her. She's got some great sources. She just don't love me anymore. She don't come on my show anymore. She don't love me. All right, you've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media. Have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.